enjoy the little things. My dad has said since I was little, enjoy the little things, for one day you'll look back and those will be the big things. He even has a plaque on the front of his car with that quote. And I know he's right. I can look back over my life and see precious little moments that seem to be fleeting in time, but are some of my favorite memories today. If you're like me, you have one of these. It's got a to-do list, a checklist, things to remember, places to be, people to see, all the things you're responsible to complete. They all live in one of these. Sometimes I call that thing my brain because it seems to remember more than I can when my to-do list has made me insane. One thing I've learned, especially over the past year, is that busy is not a place where little things can happen and be appreciated for the big things that they truly are. You see, I can't remember a time when I didn't want to be a teacher. I can remember being a little girl and accidentally writing on my wall and being in so much trouble with my mom. I can remember naming my stuffed animals one by one, Bobby and Susie and Joey and Billy, and I was Miss Mandy and I was the teacher for the day, and they had to listen to everything I say. So in December, when I graduated and I could finally teach, and I got lucky enough to get a job right away in a classroom that was mine, I spent way too much of my time focused on the wrong parts of what was important in that room. I decorated it. It was gorgeous. I built relationships with my students and family, but what happened was I would be in the classroom from the time the school opened until well after it closed. Sometimes a janitor would have to say, "Miss Pass, it's time to go." And back in February, my mom planned a Valentine's Day party, and I can remember sitting that Friday looking at the lesson plans for the next upcoming week and thinking, there's no way. I'm going to have to call and tell her I can't make it because I have so much to do to get ready for next week. There was something in my heart that night that just wouldn't let me stay, that wouldn't let me call and disappoint Mom that way. And I'm really glad I didn't, because little did I know there would be a small moment from that night that would be a big moment today. As I picked up my son and got to Mom's, both of my brothers were there. All of our family and cousins and nieces and nephews and all Mom's grandkids in one place. And I am the family photographer. I document everything. I'm a special ed teacher. That's what we do, right? But, I pull out the camera and I'm taking pictures, and I get a picture that I've wanted for several years but hadn't been able to get as my brother struggled through figuring himself out. And I have a picture of both of my brothers kissing my cheeks, and I got pictures of my son with my nephew on his shoulders, and a picture of my niece and my nephew with their dad. And the little moment that probably meant the most was the moment that my brother sat in the seat beside me in this car, and he was telling me about some of the things that he had dealt with while he had been gone so far. And I said, I don't need to know. It's not important to me. You're my brother. You're here now. I love you. Don't you see? And he became quiet, and I told him I was just happy he was here today. And we went to the store and finished our errands and rode back home together, listening to our music and chatting about the kids and how much they'd grown. And it was the first time in forever that I felt like my brother was home. Those little moments, they turn into big ones when things like losing him a month later happen. I fell asleep because I had worked myself to the ground, and I fell asleep, and I missed the calls. I think that my mom and my sister-in-law called everyone in the family, including the school I was working with, to tell me that he was being rushed to the emergency room, that he might not make it this time. And on March 10th, my brother passed away. But I hold on to that little moment where he sat beside me. And I know I got to tell him I loved him. I at times wish that I had let him speak. But I know for me, just having the moment to tell him I loved him, it's a pretty big moment now. Dad's always been right. We gotta enjoy those little moments. They definitely turn out to be the big ones later.
Oh, I'm already gone. I'm still the words I left behind. I'm still a memory to make you smile, and those will be there for a while. Though I'm already gone, when you look up to the sky, just find a star that's shining bright, and know I'm right there by your side. I'm still with you, even though I'm gone.